Good afternoon. Welcome to a very humid day today. So if I am going like this, it's because I have to flatten my hair a little bit because the humidity is happening. That is springtime in the South. All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about emotions, how essential oils play in, and actually biologically how they play in and how they work, and also about Aroma Freedom Technique, because I have had a lot of people ask about it as I'm a certified practitioner, and a lot of people are wondering, what is it, how does it work, and are you still teaching about essential oils? Because they hear about this and they don't know if I have just completely changed where I've gone. Well, if you've paid attention to my posts, I am still very much into this toxin-free lifestyle, and using essential oils for emotions is a huge part of that for our life, our family's life as well. And so, yes, I am still educating on essential oils. I am still a young living independent distributor, a silver leader, working my way up to gold very quickly, much quicker than I actually thought it would be, which is really exciting and thrilling. But in the process, I found Aroma Freedom Technique, and I tried it because I had the oils, I had the ability that I could have someone lead me through it, and I was amazed at what happened with it. So I want to start with that, talking a little bit about Aroma Freedom Technique, what it is, how it works, and why it's so cool, and how that then works with the brain and essential oils and how that all plays together. So here we go. So Aroma Freedom Technique, it is a step-by-step series that uses imagery and aromatherapy. It helps you identify what you really want to achieve, and it also allows you to clear out the resistance and the blockers that are holding you back from that ultimate possibility. It allows you to find freedom with a permanent shift in your viewpoint. It's fantastic. What you do is you're able to reprogram limiting beliefs in yourself to reshape your subconscious. Okay, sound a little hard to swallow? Okay, so here's kind of a little bit more about it. So those who experience AFT, as we commonly refer to it, they feel incredible growth, able to have clarity of what they're meant to do, remove blockers and negative emotional patterns. How much is that a part of your life? These negative emotional patterns. And that can prohibit you from doing what you're meant to do and limiting you. People who practice aroma freedom, they're able to overcome doubt or even procrastination that holds you back. So think about if you have a task that you don't want to accomplish, well, my goodness, you're just not going to do it. You're going to procrastinate, right? But yet, if you don't have those negative beliefs in yourself, you just want to go forward and just do it. I had some negative thoughts about actually just doing this video. I was like, oh gosh, does this even matter? Will people listen? Will this make sense? I just said, I'm just going to do it. I breathed in my oils and I did it. People who practice AFT and try AFT are able to have a newfound feeling of confidence and the ability to realize their goals. It's pretty outstanding. So who can benefit from it? Well, just about everyone can benefit. I want you to be on the other end of this video and I want you to be like, yes, that is totally me. Okay. Business builders, if you are building a business of any sort, AFT can help you. If you are a business owner, this can help you. If you are involved in any sort of peak performance activities, so that's if you're a student, my goodness, we have testing right around the corner for students this spring. This would be fantastic to break down those barriers of, I can't do this, I don't know this. And once you take down the negativity, yes, you can do it. Business presentations. If you have a presentation you're about to do, AFT can really help you. Even if you're feeling confident, there's probably a part of you, because one of the biggest stresses is public speaking. this could be really great to remove that. Athletes, performers. A lot of you know this, but I spent my entire childhood in the theater. So you might see me and you might say, oh my gosh, Dory has no problem speaking in front of thousands of people. Well, when I've practiced, I have no problem doing it. But most of the things that I do now with my business, there's a little bit that's scripted, but most of it is off the cuff. So do I get nervous? Absolutely. Even with 16 years of constantly being involved in performing, it's terrifying. So yeah, AFT helps me with that. People who suffer from pain. And the reason for this is that physical pain is often a result of emotional pain. And so when we have that emotional pain and we can push it aside and we can actually, I don't want to say push it aside, when we can dissolve that emotional pain, the physical pain just isn't a part of it. Patients who are about to receive chiropractic, massage, acupuncture work, because there's so much in that emotional self that is then linked to the physical. If they can clear out some of those emotional difficulties and challenges, then having the positive physical component, it's so much better, so much more effective. Couples. Those who are struggling with weight or cravings. I had this incredible experience recently where I did a session based on cravings because I was eating at about 11 o'clock at night every single day because I just was feeling hungry. I wasn't eating as much at dinner time with my kids and my family. And so I would eat later on. And I was tired of it because typically the things I wanted to go to had to do with sugar. I really, really wanted it. So I did a session with Dr. Perkis, who founded Aroma Freedom, and we based it on cravings, on these cravings. And I found that it really was, for me, not the food part of it, it was the control. And we hear that a lot, but to actually get to the bottom of it, when that's not how I thought this session would go. I had been practicing AFT for 2 months at this point. I thought I knew how it would go. And it was not. It surprised me. And that was a month and a half ago, maybe. And to this day, I still have really no taste for sugar. We've gone out to gelato with our family and I don't need to eat it. Like it's there, but I don't have the craving for it like I had before. So pretty incredible. And I'm about to sneeze. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Nope. Yes. We'll see. We'll see if it passes. I don't know. I'm feeling it. It's right in there. Individuals who want to increase intuition. If you want to work on your intuition, AFT is fantastic for that. A lot of the work that we do is trusting your instinct and your gut. If you're a mental health professional, this can be incredibly beneficial for you and your clients or patients. If you want to just realize your dreams and desires, this is for you. Parents, we need this. I can't tell you how difficult parenting is. It's amazing, but it's difficult. And this is so beneficial. And children. So we use a variation of Aroma Freedom Technique on my son, on David, when he is struggling. And even when he's not, when he just needs a little bit of a boost, and we'll do it with Audrey too. And the immediate change afterwards is incredible. So yes, children can benefit from Aroma Freedom Technique. All right, so let's talk about the background of this. So Aroma Freedom Technique, AFT, it was developed by Dr. Benjamin Perkis, and he's been a clinical psychologist since '95 and an essential oil user since 2001. He's been trained in multiple psychotherapeutic approaches, brain-based therapies, energy work. Basically, I was looking at the list of everything that he has been trained in, and it's outstanding. Humanistic, psychoanalytic, cognitive behavioral, experiential, Jungian. And then when we talk about brain-based therapies, EMDR, NET, resonance repatterning, EFT. I mean, so many things. And he has been presenting at conferences around the world for years. So this is a guy who knows his stuff. But anyways, he's taken all of these methods that he's studied and he uses those together to make AFT as powerful as it is. So here's where we're going to get into a little bit of the science part of it. Now, I have never been incredibly strong with science, so I am going to water it down and make it as easy to understand as possible. So the smell, the sense of smell, is the body's first sense. It's automatic and it's below the level of consciousness. And what it does is, because it's below that level of consciousness, it can actually affect consciousness immediately when we smell something. So on a biological level, here's how it works. You smell something. It goes through your olfactory nerve and connects to your limbic system. Your limbic system is what controls emotions, and it is immediate. And the limbic system also controls this primitive avoidance approach mechanism. And so that's basically telling us, is something safe or is it unsafe? So I want you to think of rotting food. The smell makes you gag, and so you're not going to eat it, because if you ate it, you'd get sick. So just that smell, that sense of smell, tells us, oh, I shouldn't eat it. That's not going to be a part of my meal today. So when we have an emotional response to something, whatever it is, on some level, there's going to be some hesitancy because of safety of some sort. If it's physical safety, oftentimes that appears as fear. Or if it's going to be emotional safety, that usually shows as being embarrassed about something, or maybe nervous about something happening. There's not the physical fear that you're going to be hurt, but there is that emotional potential to be wounded. So what we can do is we can use essential oils. And when I talk essential oils, you guys know, I talk about Young Living oils specifically because they are therapeutic grade. This is the only company that I have been able to find that has our own farms, distilleries on site that use such a specific way of testing the oils to make sure they are the highest value possible. So anyways, we can use essential oils, again, I'm talking the good ones, to calm the amygdala, to calm that brain. And we can also pair that with memory release. And that's the basis of Aroma Freedom. All right, let's go into a little bit more detail. So if you feel stuck about something, there's probably a lot of reasons, but usually there ends up being a vicious circle. You have negative thoughts, which lead to negative behaviors. Negative thoughts leading to negative feelings, and then negative behaviors, and then that goes back to negative thoughts. So it just keeps circling around and around and around. So why do we have that negative voice in the first place? Well, the big reason is because it's a protective mechanism. It's going to be our bodyguard telling us that something is not safe. It's not good for us. And a lot of times we can contribute that to something that happened in our childhood. If not childhood, then maybe it is more in recent memory. But there's usually some memory of the past where we experienced it. Maybe we were laughed at, you felt embarrassed, you were unsure about something. And so in AFT, in Aroma Freedom, we start with the negative thought, we go back to the negative feeling, and then we go to the negative memory where it started. And so what we do with AFT is we don't fight that negativity, which for people who tend to live a positive life is very hard, because all we want to do is push it away. But we don't fight the negativity, because if we fight it, it gives that negative voice more power. And with AFT, instead, what we do is we dissolve that voice. So it's just not there at all. And then once we've dissolved the voice, we have this surge of positivity that can go through us. So anyways, that's kind of the base understanding of AFT, how it works. But let me talk about just the steps for it. And as I go through these steps, I want you just to kind of picture it and see if you can kind of visualize how this works. So we start with setting an intention. for what you want to accomplish, something that seems very difficult to achieve. And we give it a rating on the scale of 0 to 10. That 10 meaning that it's absolutely possible, 0 meaning, nope, not gonna happen. But we use that rating as a way to measure how we go in the movement that we experience throughout the entire AFT session. Then what we do is we recognize the negative voice that tells us why it's not possible. We have to listen for that because it's there. A lot of times when we do this and I have people set an intention and rank it, there's actually a laugh. People will laugh because they hear that negative voice and why it's not going to happen. That's what we're listening for. And so then what we do is we identify the emotion that we feel when we hear that negative voice, and we find a physical part of the body where that emotion is housed. From there, we associate that feeling and that emotion with a memory, and then we smell the oils, and it's some very specific oils that we use to explore that memory, and we then will recognize changes that occur as we smell the oils and new beliefs that emerge as well. From there, we revisit the intention, and we may have to repeat those steps a few times, 1 or 2 more times, to gain further movement and momentum. And then from there, we're going to seal in the positive outlook with an affirmation and an action plan. And that's where the real beauty comes in. So that's the basic steps of Aroma Freedom and how it works with the brain. But there's so much more to it, because when we talk emotions, when we talk essential oils, there is this level of, well, it's just a drop of liquid. Like, how can it actually work? How does this happen? And for some people, I can read you the facts, I can read you information about it, and that might be enough for you to understand how it works. And for some of you, it might be just actually experiencing it. And that's where, if you are one that just has to experience it, please let me know, because I want you to experience it. I want you to try it, whether it's Aroma Freedom Technique or whether it's just try an oil and what I call an oil intervention, which is actually kind of a mini AFT session. But I just never knew it until I had started studying AFT, which is very cool. But let me tell you, if you are one of those people that really just needs a little bit more information about essential oils and how it all works and why it all works, here's some more information for you. And I do have information that I'm reading, so if you see me look over here, that's why, because it's not all in here. I do have to have it written down here. So we all have stress. We all have anxious thoughts. We have worries, emotional instability, whatever it is. We can relate to something where we are just not this hi, happy, woohoo sort of thing. But let's talk about vibration and frequency. So the law of vibration is this, that nature states that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. And so if we have a lower vibration, it's going to be a slower vibration. And if we have a higher vibration, then it's going to be a faster vibration. And so we can actually look at chemistry, and we can look at the study of atoms. And this is why I need my notes, because I was not all that great in chemistry. But we had atoms that were there, and we have atoms in everything. Everything is made up of them. And so these atoms are always in this state of motion. They're always moving, and they might be moving slower, and they might be moving faster. And depending on the speed of the atoms, those things appear solid, liquid, gas. And then sound, it also has a vibration. So there's actually a lot of people, and I don't know enough about this to speak confidently, but there are a lot of people that do study the sound waves and how that can be beneficial to emotional and physical health. Fascinating. But so anyways, really everything has this vibration, even the spoken word. It all has a vibration. So really the difference between the manifestation of physical, mental, emotional, spirituality It really all comes from the different levels of vibrations. That's it. So if you have feelings of fear, grief, despair, it's going to vibrate at a lower level than feelings of love, joy, gratitude. They're going to vibrate much faster. It's because of this, and a lot of other things too, but we can say that something that vibrates or that has low vibrations, lower the vibration, the closer to death. The higher the vibration, the more vibrant and full of life. So when we have emotions, we can, as I talked about before, I mean, my goodness, you just can really look at the brain and how that's a huge part of the emotion. So remember that amygdala. It is the watchdog of the brain. It's looking for what is good and what is bad, friend or foe, within our world. And so basically it's like the gatekeeper, the bodyguard of the brain. And so we can almost immediately be triggered into fight, flight, or freeze mechanism, or we can help calm it and be ready to calmly take action when the amygdala is triggered. So if we stay in that locked down state where we're unable to access our thinking brain, because once the emotional brain takes over, the thinking brain doesn't. It just goes on instinct. So if we want to access the thinking brain, we need to make sure that the amygdala and that emotional brain is calm and relaxed, so we can actually think through and take good action steps. And so that's where we're able to utilize essential oils, meditation. We're able to utilize things like Aroma Freedom to help us so that our emotional brain, our limbic system, is not always taking over, because that is just not healthy for us. Again, with essential oils, fragrance is memories. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've smelled something and I've said, oh, that reminds me of something. Or, oh my gosh, that smells like my Cabbage Patch girl, my Cabbage Patch doll when I was a child. Or the idea of if someone's selling a house and they're baking cookies, because the smell of baking cookies is so welcoming and inviting that it makes you feel like that's your home. And do you want to place an offer on a place that feels like home? Yeah, you do. So there is so much about the sense of smell and how we can trigger that instinctual brain. And so that's also the beauty of using pure essential oils to help your brain to relax, to calm, or sometimes to energize, because sometimes we need that too. Anyways, I could keep going on and on and on. But anyways, I wanted just to let you know that that's information about emotions, how essential oils work and why they actually work, and Aroma Freedom Technique, because it's an incredible technique. It's something that I use as a way to just cope with everyday life. Is it the only thing that I use? No, I have a toolbox of things that I will use, but if I'm feeling stuck about something, or if I feel like I've just hit a wall, I absolutely take myself through an Aroma Freedom session, and I can work through that negative emotion, and amazing things can happen because of it. So that's the information right there. I wanted to let you know that because I am certified as an Aroma Freedom practitioner, that I am able to lead you through a session if you have an interest. If you have a group of people that you think this could be beneficial for, then please let me know, because I'd love to work with your group. Pass this on. This video is public, and I'll be putting it on my YouTube channel, One Breath at a Time, on YouTube. Time is spelled T-H-Y-M-E. So please find me there. Lots of really good videos on toxin-free living and essential oils and even just business tips. But But seek me out. Ask if you want to, if you're interested in going through a session and trying it for yourself, please let me know because I'd love to help you with it. And if you have a business or if you have individuals or a group or a book club or a mom's group, anything, anyone that you think could be helped with Aroma Freedom, please pass it around because I would love to be able to help out. I have found it to be incredibly beneficial for the people that I've led. You might have seen in my post last week, I was able to lead 200 people through an Aroma Freedom session, actually 2 sessions, so 100 people in each session at the Live Your Passion rally in Shenandoah Valley, and it was an incredible experience. I mean, it was just so personal for each of those people, and the stories that came to me afterwards of how they were feeling were just touching, really touching. Some of the things that people were able to work through in less than an hour. And it's because of this modality. It's because of what Dr. Perkis has put together, and it's because of the use of these essential oils. So anyways, I welcome you to learn more, ask questions, because I know that it sounds interesting and there's a lot to learn and research. So ask questions if you have them, research on your own. On my website, One Breath at a Time, thyme.com/aroma-freedom-technique. And you can also find Aroma Freedom housed at aromafreedom.com. And if you're interested in becoming a certified practitioner like me, then that's a possibility as well. Reach out to me and I can get you more information. But I hope that you guys have a great and happy day. And I look forward to talking to you more about these opportunities. Take care. Bye, everyone.